When it came to Michael Jordan, nobody was safe. Rookies, veterans, all-stars, even Hall of Famers. If you stepped onto the court with him, you were entering his world. Jordan had a way of taking the smallest spark and turning it into fire. If a rookie showed too much confidence, he would torch him just to show how far he still had to go. If an all-star tried to test him, Jordan would put on a performance that left no doubt about who wore the crown. Even Hall of Famers with legacies of their own found themselves humbled the moment they went toe-to-toe with number 23. He didn't just beat opponents, he dissected them. Every possession became a lesson. One look, one smirk, and suddenly the game wasn't about basketball anymore. It was about survival. Talking trash to him wasn't a tactic, it was suicide, because the moment you gave him fuel, he burned your whole night down. That's why the stories never die. 10 players, 10 different moments, all ending the same way, with Michael Jordan reminding them and the world who the best really was. One of those players was Sam Cassell, who, early in his days with the Nets, learned the hard way how ruthless Jordan could be in the playoffs. Jordan didn't just beat him, he dropped nearly 40 points and left Cassell with a memory he never forgot.
Playing for the Nets, we played them in the first round in the playoffs. This was Keith Brown Horn rookie year. And the first game, I swore we was gonna beat them. They won by like 4 or 5 points, and we had them. I said, we gonna beat the Bulls. Oh God, we gonna beat the Bulls. Man, second game he had like 24 points. Second game he had like 25. Game 3 in the Meadowlands in New Jersey. Now you come on the start line out, you for the jump ball, you dap everybody out. I'm up looking at me and say, "Ho, where you going on vacation at?" I was like, "What the fuck you mean where I'm going? This thing going to game 4." Man, that man had like 23 in the first quarter. Calipari was the coach with me in New Jersey. Second quarter, Cal said, "Hey Sam, we down like 19." Cal said, "Hey man, I'm gonna let some of the other guys play and get some playoff."
The Orlando Magic had energy, swagger, and weren't afraid to talk, but Jordan thrived on that kind of challenge. Darrell Armstrong and Nick Anderson quickly learned that if you poked the bear, Michael Jordan would make you regret it.
Nick Anderson said he wasn't saying 45 is not 23.
Oh Lord, I would have said, man, y'all, you don't shut the fuck up. What is you doing? You don't get this man no fuel. What is you doing?
So when I saw that, I was like, oh my God.
No, and I wasn't saying it in a disrespectful way. I was just saying, 23, you can't compare 45 to 23. 23 will always be the man. Yep. But Lord behold,
he comes back out the next night.
It was portrayed in a different light.
I say, so game 2.
All that time you never knew that? Never knew it. Never knew it, because I was newcomer still.
Yeah.
So
game 2, never forget. I say, I was always a Michael Jordan fan. Game 2, he comes out, keeps his top on, got his pants off, shorts on, and then they do the announcement.
Took that shit out, had that 23 on.
On his 45, back from the rafters is 23. Quickly, so maybe Michael's going to try to launch himself tonight wearing number 23.
What was the chatter at the end of the bench? Oh shit!
I don't know. I just know I was excited. I don't know what they were saying.
I'm ready to watch this shit.
Because I was sitting there like, I ain't got to guard him. Like, y'all got to guard him. Good luck.
So they end up beating us.
Yeah.
So the rest of the time, this was the crazy part. Every time he wore that number, they got fined $200,000.
Yeah.
But we ended up winning 4-2 on that court. That was the first time Horace Grant left Chicago. Jordan's trainer like, when you want to start? He said tomorrow, lifting weights. And he said, all he kept thinking was Orlando. Man, they played us there was Shaq last time in Orlando. They played us, they swept us. But I never forget this, and you can go back and look at the stat sheet. And they was fucking with Horace Grant. Horace couldn't do nothing, put his head down and just laugh. It was on the free throw line right in front of us. Jordan, Scotty was talking shit. Boy, Jordan had 2 free throws at the end of the game. He hit the first one and missed the second one on purpose. And we was like, what the fuck you doing, Somebody said, look at the scoreboard. left 45 on the scoreboard. You know Jordan petty and a motherfucker.
Did not matter. The Bulls have swept the Magic. Jordan finishes with 45 points. The Bulls do it 106-101 as the Orlando Magic have been swept from the playoffs.
Horace Grant shared a story about the danger of shining too brightly against Michael Jordan. One young player had his moment, but with MJ, that only meant payback was coming, and what followed became one of the most unforgettable lessons of his career.
Nothing was off limit, and that's that competitive nature that he had. You know, a kid named LeBradford Smith used to play with the Bullets Wizard. He had 38 points on MJ, and we had to play him the next night. MJ didn't talk to anybody, walking off the court, and everybody was saying, "Oh, this is the next MJ," and he had scored those many points on MJ. The next game we played them in their home, in their arena, MJ had 40 at halftime. 40. And you never heard of LeBradford Smith again.
Never. And I'm from D.C. I don't remember LeBradford Smith.
Next, during Jordan's time with the Wizards, even past his prime, he still demanded respect. Young players like Rip Hamilton and Larry Profits thought they could challenge him, and Profits even started talking trash. But Jordan wasn't having it. He had to school them both.
The GOAT, man, that's GOAT status, man. As a two guard coming up and Mike, you know, being your idol growing up, and now you got an opportunity to lock it up with him and learn and get as much information off of him as possible. Because even my second year, he used to come down and practice with us all the time, right? But he didn't, you know, every now and then he'd come in and, you know, work out with us. Kind of similar to what he did with y'all when you was on the Bobcat, Shaq.
Yeah,
you know, he'd
right.
come down and work out with us. And me and Prof used to play with him all the time. And we used to talk trash to MJ all the time. But it was only certain things that I would say. And, you know, Prof would sometimes, you know, say a little bit of extra stuff that I wouldn't go there. And I remember one time we were playing in practice, right? And Prof, you know, might have hit a shot on MJ, and he was like running down court, "Yeah, you can't guard me with them old ass knees." And I'm like, "Oh."
Ask you specifically because you played with Michael Jordan and you played with Kobe Bryant, and you got to put them with Larry Bird of the top three, what we hear are the most competitive guys.
Hate to lose.
So those guys hated to lose no matter what.
They hated losing more than they liked winning.
Okay, and you felt it like palpably.
No, I heard it, felt it, saw it. It wasn't acceptable in any form, in anything though.
In anything.
In anything.
Oh, stop! Time out! Time out! I was like, "Oh, nah." You don't say that to the GOAT. MJ was heated. I mean, he was heated to the point that when I went to my exit meeting, because you know he was the president at the time. I went into my exit meeting. He was like, "Oh, okay, Rip, you know, your man, your buddy, you know what I'm saying?" Because he ended up trading Prof that summer. He was like, "Oh, your man." He was like, "Oh yeah, he ain't going. He out of here." He said, "But you gonna be there by you gonna be there by yourself." You know what I'm saying? And you ain't gonna have your buddy to co-sign, and you know you gonna be on the island by yourself. I like, look.
He was still mad. He was still mad.
I was like, I don't want no problems, bro. I don't want no problems at all. I'm your teammate, man.
Up next is one of the best stories showcasing Jordan's competitive fire. During an exhibition game, he made a bet with Eddie Johnson and Tom Chambers that he would drop 40 points on Dan Marley. Most players might have laughed it off, but not MJ. He went right at Marley all night.
Well, he does take everything personal, and everything that he does, cards, whatever. I was in a room with him for, 5 hours one time, day of a game. He wouldn't let us leave. Me, Tom Chambers, Ty Corbin. It was an exhibition game, and he would not let us leave. And we were stiff. I called Cotton, said, "Cotton, I can't go." He said, "That's okay, I was going to hold you out." Tom called him up. "Cotton, I'm sore, I can't go." "That's okay, I wasn't going to play you." And Ty Corbin wouldn't dare do it, right? I'm not doing it. So Jordan stands up in the room and he says, "You tell that boy Dan Marley, I got something for him tonight." And now I stood up, I couldn't hardly walk. I mean, literally, we had played the night before, traveled that day. I was stiff as a board. He would not, if Scottie Pippen in the room, Horace Grant, I mean, we just playing this game called Tunk, okay? And we just going at it. And he looked at Tom and I, he said, "I'm gonna give your boy 40.
In an exhibition game?
Yeah, we like, who? Dan. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. Bet 100. Bet 200. I took the bet. Tom took the bet.
Oh no.
So he starts the game, and he just going nuts. I'm over there still stiff. I got heat packs under my clothes, man. I'm like stiff. This man's out there going crazy. And Tom and I sitting there looking at him like, this dude is just insane. So he had about 34. And he walks over to the bench. And he catches the ball. He looks at Tom and I like, get that money ready. He catches the ball. And Dan's guarding him. He reverse pivots on him, so Dan's got to backed up, and he went right, and he just tried to tear the rim down. Tongue wag, he went down like this, right, and holding up 400. Nobody knew what the 4 was, right? And so we're looking. So timeout. Cotton called a timeout, and Michael came over after the timeout. He said, "Cotton, your boys, they were playing cards with me all day. Told on us." So that's why. Oh yeah, so that's why. Yeah, so that's why y'all not playing. That's why they not playing, and they bet me too. I told him I was gonna give your boy Dan Marley 40, and he had 30. He had 30, 36, 38, and we sitting over there. And Cotton turns to Dan, who's a rookie, right? Because Dan supposedly locked Jordan up, in the Olympics, right? And Cotton looks at Dan and said, "Dan, what did you do to Michael? Just messing with him?" And Dan was like, "I didn't do anything to him." So we fell out laughing.
Like I said, the guy was unbelievable, and he carried their team. He was that good. I'm telling you, he was the best. Whatever he did, he was the best. If he wanted to guard you and not let you score or touch the ball, you weren't touching the ball.
Antonio Harvey shared a story that perfectly illustrates why you never talk trash to Michael Jordan. Jordan started the game cold, missing shots, until Harvey's teammate Derek Martin decided to mouth off from the bench. From that moment, MJ lit up the scoreboard.
We're up by 8 points, and one of my teammates, Derek Martin, had been in LA with Mike when he was filming Space Jams. It was the summer after he filmed Space Jams.
Okay.
We're up 8. Mike is 4 for 16 from the field. He's having a really rough night.
Right.
So Derek decides, because there's about 10 minutes to go in the game and we're winning, he decides to say to Michael Jordan, who's having an off night, "Hey Mike, shit's not falling tonight, Mike. You're having an off night, Mike." Really? 24 points in the last 10 minutes. His last jump shot, this is no lie, catches the ball in the post. He does the typical Jordan fadeaway. He's fading towards our bench. He knocks down the shot. They go up by 6. He turns to the bench and says, "Shut up, you little bitch." True story.
The Timberwolves were young, full of attitude, and had no idea who they were dealing with. J.R. Ryder and a young Kevin Garnett tried to get under Jordan's skin, but it backfired. He punished them on every possession.
J.R. is having a good game.
I actually made the mistake and said something because J.R. Ryder was having a great game against Mike Jordan.
Ryder goes baseline, spin move inside.
So what happened was, we're in Chicago, and I had played against Mike 3 times head up. So KG had never seen me play against Mike.
Yeah.
So we're in the game, and I got about 24 going into the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
Mike got about 18, 19.
Okay.
Ryan gets it out to Terry Porter, down low Isaiah Ryder. 2 seconds on the shot clock. 1, and he dunked on everybody. Boy.
He asked JR what I said, and then JR said, he repeated. He said, and then he kind of looked at me and kind of put the hands on the hip like,
"What'd you say?"
I said, "Nigga, keep kicking his ass. You busting this motherfucking ass." And dapped him. When we dapped, and I had to go, I went back over.
MJ had you repeat it.
He said, "What'd he say?" And then he said, he was right there. Like,
that's the PG version.
Right.
I mean, the rated R version is, I mean, I used to have good games against Mike.
Right.
I was quiet though.
Fact.
Right, because you don't want to wake Mike up.